Hey guys, Minnesota here with a quick guide for Mythic Academy. This guide's gonna be good from zeros to M plus 22. Here's my talents. The main thing I'm worried about here in the Paladin tree is the cleanse top left, the first boss. Other than that, it's your basic talent build for Prot Paladin. I also want to put out there that I'm not the best Paladin in the world. I feel like I'm good enough to be able to help others. I play all the tanks. I stream every single day. If you got any questions, come ask. We do veer keys. We do carries. We do IO push. If you want a group that's just not going to bail on you, or that group, come by, hang out. Also, here's my main weak aura that I use. Divine Tolls in the middle. My free Ward of Glory is to the right of that. To the right of the Ward of Glory is my Blessing of Dusk. And my Consecrate to the right of that. When I'm in my Consecrate, it shows you the percent of how much damage reduction I'm receiving. If I'm not in it, it glows. To the left of Divine Toll now is Sentinel, and to the left of that is Blessing of Dawn. I got my utility stuff on the left side, and my personal defenses on the right side. And my Holy Powers underneath the health bar in the center. So if you like that, or you like my plater, you'll see my plater, there's aqua color. That's mobs that can be interrupted. Typically that are the prio interrupt targets, and orange mobs, their health bars are the ones that can be interrupted, but only interrupted with a stun. But if you want any of those, swing by the stream and ask, and I'll give them to you. But let's get right into the video. All right, here we go. Academy. So for this one, I tell my group to wait at the middle of the stairs. Let me group everything up in the tree area. I also make sure to grab the haste buff here on my way. And the reason why I want them to wait is because I don't want anyone to have threat and have the mobs just going wherever they want. Because I am not going to pull this first group right here that's padding. I'm going to stay to the right, just so I don't have things beating me up as I get everything ready to go. I don't pull the other skittlings. I just pull the lasher packs. You don't have to pull all three of these packs at the same time. You can do 2 and 2. One on the right with the skittlings, and then once the one lasher pack starts to die, chain the other one into the other one. But I pull them all together. Don't be afraid to use your defensives here, especially on a fortified week. And as you can see with the debuff on the party frames right now, I'm using Shocking Disclosure. That's why I'm doing so much damage. It's really good for dungeons that have a lot of AoE. Potion does insane amounts of damage. But here we're just making sure our Consecrate's down, keeping our Shield of Righteous up. Whenever we move, I typically will use a Ward of Glory, even if it's not free, just to make sure I'm healthy. And since I'm not in Consecrate, I know I'm just going to get hit hard, so I have a heal ready to go. But for this pull, really, it's just don't stand in the green, fight back, keep trying to drop that Consecrate as much as you can, and keeping the shield up. And don't be afraid to use your Word of Glories even if they're not free. Just as you see right there, I just used it. Fortified bosses aren't too bad, so use your defensives on trash or fortified trash because they hit hard. But for this boss, since I didn't pull the other skittlings, I don't pull them. Sometimes I have a route that I do, but this route I do not. I make sure to pull the boss back just because I don't want anyone pulling the pat, especially in a pug. Make sure you pull it way back. So as you can see, they're just padding now. I'm going to pull this boss back to where we just killed the trash, and I'm mainly doing that just so no one pulls those guys. Sometimes I'll pull the 3 into the boss depending on what DPS I have. If it's a good funnel class DPS, I'll pull them into the boss. It's not that big of a deal. But here you got the tank smash that's coming right now. You can use our defender there. Like I said, non-tyrannical bosses aren't horrible, so group up, stack around the edges here. I just stutter step, so these lashers here are stuck in the ground. They're not going to pop up unless they don't die. If they don't die and the next set comes up, these ones will come up as well. But for the most part, they're in the ground right now. They're giving us a debuff from the boss. The branch is going to heal us and get rid of this debuff that we have, so we want to kill it before the next set comes out. So there's the circle. We're going to get rid of the debuff. It's going to heal us up to full when it pops. So next set of adds, these ones come up. And as you can see, I'm sitting on Divine Toll for these ads right here. Because these ones have a threat table. They're gonna pop up. I'm gonna hit Divine Toll before they come up, so I have threat on all of them. No one else does. And you see, I also have this debuff on me right now, right? So when I get to 15 stacks, I cleanse myself. And fortified bosses, you can probably cleanse yourself and not have to worry about the healer ever. Tyrannical, you'll have to cleanse, then he'll have to cleanse, then you'll have to cleanse because the mobs just live so long. But again, this fight, really simple. Just the biggest thing I can say is save Divine Toll for the lashers that come out of the ground, so your DPS don't die to threat, because they'll die. And if you don't have Divine Toll because you spaced out and you used it early, use your bubble taunt, but taunt the boss before you bubble taunt, and then bubble taunt as the ads are coming up, and you'll have no problem. But again, we're gonna fast forward to the next part. All right, so for here we are going to look where the ads are that we didn't pull the pack of skitterlings, and we're going to either skip to the left or the right side of them and go right to the mini tornado boss. For this guy, he hits hard. Make sure you use some defensives, have your Shield of Righteous up, consecrate down, and any new tornadoes that are spawning, just move out of it and pull it away so your melee has some room. Also, that big circle that you see, you only have to LOS if you're in that circle. If you're range or melee, you can just get to the edge of that circle, get out of it, and you'll be fine. You don't have to worry about LOSing. You only have to LOS if you're in that circle. So for these birds, I'm just going to leave it like this, fast forwarding it to the boss, because there's just a frontal and a kick that you got to do, and it's a free count. So we will get right to the boss. All right, so I also want to say that we stream every single day. If you have any questions about tanking or healing, swing by and ask. We do carries, we do Vera keys, we do IO push. If you're just looking for a group that isn't going to bail on you if something goes wrong, that's us. Just come hang out. You don't got to sub. You don't got to, there's no money involved. It's just come and hang out. It's a community. It's a good time. But here for this boss is untyrannical, a big pain in the butt. Fortified, not so bad. The main thing here for us tanks is this bleed dot right there that just came up. I want to make sure that I'm using my wogs on it to keep myself up, keep my Shield of Righteous up, and my consecrate down. If my Shield of Righteous is up and I have enough holy power to cost a wog, I'll do it even when it's not free, just because I know my shield's up and I know how much time's on it, and I'll just wog myself. If my Shield of Righteous is up, I'm not going to make my Shield of Righteous any stronger. So you can extend it, but sometimes it's just better to use a wog, because you get yourself back up and then you just use another Shield of Righteous, try to build up your free wog, and you want to make sure you're keeping your dusk up, the damage reduction blessing. So for here on tyrannical weeks, I won't grab the balls, but fortified weeks, I'll grab the last ball and I'll throw it in, because we're going to want to go to 4 screams. So right now we are on, what is that? We are on the 3rd screen. 3rd screen just went off. The 4th one's about to go off. So once the 4th one goes off, depending on what your healer wants to do, some healers can't handle a 4th one, some can, but typically it's 4. So here comes the 4th scream, and everyone's healthy. I should have probably sat on that a little bit longer, because the 5th scream still has 10 plus seconds before it even come out, but it's fortified, so we're not really too worried, because when you throw it in and the fire comes out, it takes increased damage. So this is normally when you would lust, pot, whatever you got to do is during that stun. But for here, we're just concentrate, barely moving a little bit, so we stay in that consecrate for the damage reduction. Have our free wog, use it whenever we can, and just cycle our defensives. You can normally do Ardent Defender and then Eye of Tear, and you should be fine. You shouldn't really need a defensive until like the 3rd and 4th scream. And this boss should be dead on a fortified week without having to activate the tornadoes. But if you got to activate the tornadoes, I typically look for a white ball, and you get that white ball, and it makes it so you don't get pushed around by the wind. You can just plant your consecrate and you're good. if you have a group that takes longer and you get tornadoes, you get pushed around, just try to fight to stay in your consecrate as much as you can. And when you can't stay in your consecrate, you just use your wog. Use your wogs, even if they're not free, to just keep yourself afloat. But this next bit of area here can really be a lot of fun because there's a lot of damage for us, especially with the shocking pot. But for here, we're gonna round all these up. You can pull these slowly. You don't have to pull them all at once if you're not comfortable. But you just chain them. When you start feeling comfortable, start adding a couple more. Like you can do these two, pull them together, and then pull the 4 on the left. And the only thing you really got to worry about is the scepter, which is orange. You can stun this one, but you can also kick this one. There's an AoE that he does that you got to kick, and there's a rain right there. As long as you stun it before that cast goes out, you won't get these blue swirlies. But we were too slow. We got the blue swirlies. Also the big worm, he will pick the furthest range, and the range can LOS, so he won't jump. So the big circle is on Fluffy back there to the right. He LOS's it, and boom, it doesn't do anything, and it just does the frontal. That's this pull right here. Again, pull what you're comfortable with, and once you start getting more comfortable, you start pulling more. You can start chaining stuff. So like right now, I probably could have chained this into the next pull, which I probably should have, but I don't know why I didn't, to be honest. Maybe it's, I don't know, but you can see clearly the range guy, Shadow Priest Fluffy, he just LOS the circle on him, and it doesn't jump to any, it doesn't jump, it just does a frontal then afterward. Here, like I said, we got the orange plater. That mob can be stunned. The aquas, they just need to be interrupted. I got a little lost on what percent I needed, but so the scepter right here, I'm going to stun it, Hodge, boom. There's no blue swirlies. These swirlies right here are from the Thundering Apex. But other than that, you just kick the star, triangle. Diamond does have a cast, a scepter. You can kick that too, but the main thing that we're looking at is the one that that's the stuff on the ground that we can stun to mitigate all of that. Again, the next pull is going to be worms. We're going to fast forward through that because you guys saw what we did with the last one. You can pull this how you want. Sometimes depending on the week, I'll pull the far 2-pack of worms on the very opposite side of me right now. I'll pull those into the boss for funnel, which I probably should have done this week, but I don't think I did. I think I just pull everything here. We're going to make sure. Yeah, see, I pull everything. I pulled the 2. Normally I pulled those 2 that just pulled the boss, but this week I don't know why I just pulled them all. But we're gonna fast forward and go to the next pack. This pack you guys just saw. Again, shocking disclosure does a lot of damage. They're not expensive. I suggest using them, but if not, it is what it is. Make sure you got health pots too. Like a lot of tanks, I go through 100 health pots a day. It's crazy. For here, we're gonna make sure the big ones here are the textbooks, Triangle and Moon. I do have a weaker that auto marks every caster in the group just so I can call out what needs to be interrupted. But I try to make sure I always have Divine Toll up for this pull too. So the worms before that, if I know they're gonna die and Divine Toll is coming up, I'm gonna sit on it for this pull so I can group them all together. Pull the one with shield and judge the other one, and then Divine Toll when they're close. My shields that proc, I just will make sure interrupt random stuff, and my main rebuke kick will be for the textbooks that I need. Other than that, just make sure that you're sending your shields at the other mobs trying to interrupt. Throw your hammers out, blinding light, war stomp if you got it. Any CC is gonna help you out. Same thing with this one. You got the scepter, the textbook. Make sure the textbooks are kicked, which are triangle and square. Star can be stunned, and just make sure that you always get one. I try not to rely too much on pugs on those, but if you do, more power to you. Scepter, see I missed the stun there. Someone tried to interrupt it. You can't interrupt it. You can stun that cast, but We missed it. It's okay. You just dodge your feet. Again, the textbook, so the AoE from that and the scepter will hurt. Someone will probably die if they're not kicked. Good. So for this boss here, since we have a Shadow Priest, this boss can be very, very easy for us. Everyone can soak a ball and we just mass it. But for non-tyrannical weeks, I kind of just take care of everything just because it's fortified boss and he doesn't really hurt too bad. I'll tank him in the middle, make sure my consecrate's down. I tell the healer, hey, when you see me at 3 debuffs, just cleanse me. Cleanse me at 3. Every time you grab these balls here, it intensifies. So right here, I'll pop one. It's going to hit me for 200% of the damage. Each one goes another 200%. So that was 200%, 400%, 600%. But he cleansed me, so it was good. That frontal hurts a lot. So if you got defensive, make sure it's up. Sometimes you'll see me steed. So right now, I see there's 3 on that side. I'm going to go to the side that there's more on. I steeded. I popped a defensive. Consecrated. And actually, now that I'm watching it, I didn't even have a defensive. I don't know how I didn't die there, but here comes the knockback. We're gonna get our consecrate. We're gonna plant again. We got our walk. I throw my sack out. You see, I put my sack on someone that has a mana bomb. See, he's there to soak. I soak one. I see more. Yeah, my consecrate. Get my shield up. I normally try to save a wog for that, a free one. If not, I'll use holy power to wog myself during that frontal. If you're a DPS and you're soaking, you can soak these balls and then wait for your debuff to fall off for the next set to soak another one. So we got Ardent Defender rolling, so I'm going to grab 3. I'm not worried. I even hit Eye of Tear there. And now we're moving our feet again. So this boss is just mainly managing those orbs, which as a paladin, as you can see, you can steed and get a bunch, pop a big defensive, live it. When it gets real nasty on tyrannical, I'll bubble taunt and I'll just soak everything. But here we got everything. I'm going to stop, consecrate, feel the righteous up, word of glory. Boom. I know that frontal's coming out and it can tyrannical. It does some serious damage. I'll do a video on tyrannical week for these bosses just to show you the difference on how I play them. Because fortified bosses are a lot simpler. But we're going to go to the next trash pool. Just a recap. The frontal is the scariest part of this fight for us. Make sure you have something up to protect yourself for that frontal. Again, we got a scepter here in this pack. No textbook, so the scepter's my main focus. I don't want the cast to go off, and I want to stun for the other cast that will cause the players to have to move for ground effects. I don't want anyone to have to move if they don't have to. I want them to just blast. But this next pool is really fun. This is the freest percent besides the worms, because the worms are pretty free too. But we're gonna go up here. We're gonna grab 3 pulls, and we're gonna use the stairs to our advantage here. Watch the skitterlings. So I'm gonna blow big cooldowns here, because it's fort, and I want these mobs at the top of the stairs grouped together to make it easier on the rest of the team. I pop my big defensives here. I want them all up here on the caster star. The only thing I'm kicking is the missiles. You want the bomb to go on a player and the bomb to come into the group to blow up, because it will do damage to the mobs and the mobs will just kill themselves. So here I position myself down the stairs. I got all the mobs at the top. They start spinning. I just backpedal. Now no one's taking damage. We're underneath the whirlwind right now, so we're not taking any damage, and we're just blasting and kicking missiles. That's it. The bomb comes out. It's on Savvy. He comes in, drops it. Boom. Next set of whirlwinds. We just step down. No one gets hit. You don't have to stun them. You don't have to do nothing. Now you just wait for the path to go by. And I pull these guys inside and I divine toll. I'm always saving my divine toll for the next pull. Like if something's going to die, I won't hit divine toll on the trash mob if I'm not going to have it back up for the next pull. So I always want it at the beginning of every single pull. So here we're going to hammer the whirlwinds. I'll blinding light them. We'll kick the missiles, war stomp, and that's this trash. Very easy trash to handle. If you don't have stuns, just kite away from the whirlwinds. Let's get to the boss. The boss, I'm gonna fast forward because it's there's really not too much going on for us tanks. Okay, I lied. I'm not gonna fast forward it right away. I do want to say a couple things extra on this part. So here I always take it to the side, and when I'm to the side here, I leave it here for the pull-ins, everything, but I can leave my consecrate down, get my shield of righteous up. This boss for tanks is very easy. I'm more concerned about my range. I tell my range all the time, get close to the boss, because the frontal breath is bigger than what it looks like. And in pugs, I lose someone to the frontal breath all the time, especially a caster. It's always a caster. But so get out of the circle here. Every time you're in a circle or you get hit by a ball, you get a debuff. And once you get 3 debuffs, you drop a circle that drops balls. So right now, that's my first debuff. As long as no one's in it, no one else got one, we're fine. Some of them are just unavoidable debuffs that you're going to get throughout the fight, which is fine. So pulling comes in, all good. It's mainly your DPS. You want your DPS to understand the fight and keep track of their own debuffs. So once they get their 3rd debuff, they got to know, all right, I'm going to drop a circle that's going to shoot balls out. I should probably put it to the outside of to wherever we're fighting. Just makes it easier. But luckily right now, no one's gotten 3, so we'll just get to sit here and pew. Someone is going to get a 3rd one here. I think it's Savvy. Yep, he's going to the wall. He's going to drop his circle. And now he has no debuffs. But now we have a circle in the middle of the ground. That's going to shoot balls out, which if you get hit by the balls, you get a stack of the debuff. Now I just pull it away. The goal is to pull it away from there before the pulling comes in. And then if now another DPS, let's say, gets their 3rd debuff, they should go towards the other one and drop it over there. So, but a lot of times in bugs, that's not going to happen. So I try to keep the boss as close as I can to the puddle without people getting sucked in and getting hit by balls. So right now we're still close to, all right, if I move, we still have room. So, but there's a big circle. I think we all actually got hit by that. No, I didn't. But pull-ins here, and then sometimes the timing, you're going to get pulled in and a puddle is going to be down. Just adjust when you can. So as long as the frontal's not at you, you're going to be safe. But the puddles are in the back there. There's the frontal. And we got another puddle. So that puddle's close. The pull-in's there. Now I'm just going to go to the open and move the boss a little bit. I don't want anyone to get pulled through a circle or puddles. So on Tyrannical, this place can look like a zoo of balls if you're with bugs, I feel like. But that's my Academy guide. If you have any questions, come by the stream, my weak or my plater. If you're looking to do IO push keys, let me know. We do carries. We do just viewer keys. You know, they're not carries, but they're keys with a group of people that, even if it goes bad, are not going to leave. But we will bring you to at least to 16. Even if you're not ready for it, we'll bring you, we'll teach you, and we may give each other crap during our keys, but we will never give you crap. You know, we're there to help you, but at the same time, we do so many keys that we like to joke around with each other. But come hang out. I appreciate you.